नमस्कार, मैं हूं जितेंद्र दीक्षित। अब से 25 साल पहले एक घटना हुई जिसने पूरे देश को सकते में डाल दिया था। चंद पाकिस्तानी आतंकियों ने भारतीय विमान इंडियन एयरलाइंस के IC-814 को हाईजैक कर लिया था और वो पूरा हाईजैक का ड्रामा जो काठमांडू से शुरू हुआ था वो अफगानिस्तान के कांधार में जाकर खत्म हुआ करीब हफ्ते भर बाद। लेकिन बहुत ही कम लोग ये जानते हैं कि उस ड्रामे की एक कड़ी मुंबई से भी जुड़ी थी। हाल में हमने देखा कि जब IC-814 पर एक वेब सीरीज जब रिलीज हुई तो जो आतंकियों के नाम थे उनको लेकर विवाद हो गया। लेकिन आपको शायद नहीं पता होगा कि उस विमान में जो हाईजैकर्स मौजूद थे उनके नाम सबसे पहले मुंबई पुलिस ने बाहर किए थे और जो विमान पहले काठमांडू से हाईजैक किया गया उस साजिश को मुंबई से अंजाम दिया जाना था। उस पूरे कांड का मुंबई एंगल क्या है ये जानने के लिए हम आए हैं डी शिवानंदन जी के पास। डी शिवानंदन महाराष्ट्र पुलिस के पूर्व DGP हैं, मुंबई के पूर्व पुलिस कमिश्नर रह चुके हैं और 1999 दिसंबर में जब ये कांड हुआ था तब ये मुंबई क्राइम ब्रांच के चीफ थे, ज्वाइंट कमिश्नर क्राइम थे। शिवानंदन जी, आपका स्वागत है।
थैंक यू।
आपसे समझना चाहेंगे कि सबसे पहले जब ये सारा कुछ चल रहा था तब आप मुंबई पुलिस में एक अहम पोजीशन पर थे। उस वक्त अंडरवर्ल्ड के साथ मुंबई पुलिस की लड़ाई चल रही थी। तब इतने आतंकी हमले 93 के बाद में कोई बड़ा आतंकी हमला नहीं हुआ था, लेकिन आपको लगा कि ये जो हमला हुआ है काठमांडू में जिस तरह से प्लान को हाईजैक किया गया तो मुंबई को भी सतर्क रहना जरूरी है। और उस दौरान आपने किस तरह के एहतियात बरते थे और आपने क्या कुछ किया था?
Okay, I joined as the Joint CP Crime on let us say approximately July 1st, 1998. Already 56 shootouts by the criminals killing the businessmen was over. By the end of 1998, they had killed 101 businessmen. And in 99, by various steps we have taken, it was reduced to something like 46 or so. Shootouts by criminals and shooting the businessmen. So when I say the impact should not be much less, the Mumbai city was absolutely on tenterhooks as to who would be the next target. So when we were fully involved in this shocking news came through the TV channels that the Kandahar hijack has taken place from Kathmandu, and then it went to Amritsar, Lahore, and then Kandahar, and all the negotiation was going on. So when this happened, the whole series of things which I had explained happened. That is on December 25th, on Christmas Day, I received my junior colleague I was very fond of him. He worked with me in many places. That is Hemant Karkare. Unfortunately, he passed away on 26/11/2008. And he came to my room and he knew that I had worked in the IB and we are good in surveillance and various other tactics. And he was working in the RNAW at the time. And then he gave me a mobile number. And this mobile number, that time, I know all this mobile tracing technology was not there. So much technology has increased. Let us say 1,000,000 times has increased now. But that time, tracking a mobile was just not possible. The service provider will give only a block, the tower block. Say for example, if he says Cuff Parade. In Cuff Parade, there are thousands of flats, thousands of hotels, thousands of places are there. Where do you go and search? For example, if I get a building, say Air India building, how do I go into Air India building and track that mobile from thousands of people working there? This was our problem. So we got very excited that this job came to the Mumbai police, and we were excited to know that Mumbai has some role or the other to play in this hijacking. That was very, very exciting and challenging also. So since we had worked very well in the crime branch, there are 12 units and all of them were charged with the job of eliminating the mafia presence in Mumbai. So they were really well trained in surveillance and various things because I had only organized the training through the intelligence bureau by sending officers to Delhi and bringing the IB officers to Mumbai. We did all that and that helped us in a big way. First job is to track this mobile. So obviously, we have taken it for listening watch by connecting with the service provider, and then we were listening, and 1 or 2, 3 days were in waste, and then suddenly on 28th or so, it cracked, and then whatever I described, that this Abdul Latif has worked in this organization for a long time. So I'm going back to a little bit backside, a little behind the story, hijacking. That is from June, July of 99. These people were coming and going. They were staying in various places in Jogeshwari, Malad, and other places. And this guy was tasked with getting SIM cards, getting passports. All these people got, all the 5 hijackers got passports in Hindu names. Rajesh, Gopal, Verma, and various other names they had. And this Maulana's brother, Atthar, his title was Captain, just a nickname. Captain Atthar had 2 passports issued in 2 days gap with the same name and same photograph, but the address was one in Bombay and one was in Navi Mumbai. So that kind of facilitation was done by this Abdul Latif, and this Abdul Latif had gone to multiple places, to Kathmandu, Bangladesh, either. So he was working absolutely furiously for these people for a long time, getting into all this preparation. And then the conspiracy was in elsewhere, and the action was here. And they had taken this place for getting all the passports and all, maybe because of the presence of a facilitator, an agent, a dalal, whoever he is, the worker, that is Abdul Latif, and he had all the contacts and things like that. So that was a national security challenge, but it did happen earlier. That is between, let us say, June, July 99 to December 99, all these activities had happened. So when this happened, when we tracked this, when we recorded the talk, then we found out the rendezvous, RV as they call it, place where they met, and then we tracked, and all the story I have told.
So, that place was in South Mumbai's Bhindi Bazaar.
See,
Shalimar restaurant.
So much of activity was the favorite spot of all these gangsters and criminals was Bhindi Bazaar and Shalimar and various other places. So our guys were absolutely, they knew this place like the palm of the hand. But the actual calls were made, and all that was happened between Juhu and Jogeshwari Malad area. You know, these are full of tabelas and people and all that, you know. So that was the problem, that we could not track because the cell tower would give a large area with large slums, jhoppadpattis and chawls. Going to a place and tracking their mobile was just not, the technology was just not there.
So I just want to listen to the actual effort, like on the ground. So once you identified that this guy is going to meet somebody at a restaurant in South Mumbai, so from then, how did you dispatch your team, and how he was caught?
The teams were already on high alert for the last 1 or 2 days. They were waiting. Main thing is putting the call on listening watch. That was just next to the room. Our ACP, retired Vilas Tupe at the time, maybe inspector, he was in charge. He was a man of confidence. And then they were listening. And once when the call cracked and we found out that the caller from the other end, from the foreign country, was telling him that you are running short of money, go to this place, meet so-and-so. The man would be having a striped shirt and the blue jeans. So then only our adrenaline shot up like anything. Our teams went there. Surveillance, main thing is a thing called the housing, you know. Housing means the suspect, we will track them without arresting them on the spot. Because if we had arrested that guy who was giving money and the guy who was taking the money, the whole story is ended. Right. So we had to follow this man, take his identity. We didn't have the regular cameras of mobile and all that. Other cameras, of course, were there. Then we did all that. The guy took a taxi and he took the money, 1 lakh of rupees. From the other guy, Shalimar Hotel guy, and then he went to Central Station. From there he took a train. So our people were well trained in surveillance. They will change because same guy cannot go, same car cannot go. They followed all the drill and went there and housed him in Bashir Bagh. It's a very thickly populated Muslim dominated area.
Bashir Bagh in
Jogeshwari. And he went and got into that. That is called housing. Housing means I going behind you, leaving you in your house without me getting caught. I know where you live now. Right. So we mounted the team there. So there only we mounted the team, saying that they all are watching with camera, binocular, whatever it is, that house. And when we got the signal that in Kandahar, so in these efforts, all these things, we found out all the, after arrest only I'm talking, that these 7 islands, these travel guys have given all the passports. Some Vaishali driving school had given the driving license for all these people. All these things, when they were found out, we were able to give all this information to Government of India through Mr. Hemant Karkare. And they had informed the Deputy PM, and he could show that these are the guys who were there and things like that. By the time the transaction in Kandahar was done safely, we didn't jump into arresting them or raiding the place, because if we had done anything, this Abdul Latif was talking to one Abdul Rauf there, and they would have we would have put the people of the hostages in life in danger. So we had to wait for the green signal, and once when that was done, we knew. But in the meanwhile, our information could help them as to who were there and all that kind of thing.
So, sir, finally, when you located their house, which you say housing, so finally, when did your guys enter that?
That is on the 30th.
Okay.
30th. By the time that 29th, 30th, the transaction, all that has happened. Because if we had gone to raid them before, then the whole thing is broken. The Kandahar people would have known that our Satidar has been arrested, and that they can make the life of the hostages miserable. We didn't do that. So only when we got the signal from the relevant authorities, we went into the house, and there we found 2 Pakistanis, 1 Nepali, and Abdul Latif, and 2 AK-47, TNT shells, a map showing the location of Shri Bal Thakre's house, and arms, ammunition, so many things. Simultaneously, we located that Yusuf alias Nepali's house in Jogeshwari, in Malad. Bashir Bagh, then Jogeshwari and Malad. These are the 3 places we had to raid simultaneously. So we went to that place in Nepali's flat. There we removed Glock pistols, hand grenades, and $10,000 and things like that.
Sir, so when your team approached them, entered that house, तो क्या सर किसी प्रकार का रेसिस्टेंस उनकी तरफ से आया?
No. Listen to me. If they had done anything, we would have been dead. I wouldn't be telling this story. We would have been dead, because they had 2 AK-47s and plenty of ammunition and so many other weapons and all they had, which we have seized. And we arrested 2 Pakistanis, and 3 Pakistanis had gone for some mission, and we were not able to trace them because they found out that the place has been raided. They vanished. This Nepali is the Nepali guy, and then one more place they stayed and all that. So if there was resistance, I will not be telling the story here to you, because they were very heavily armed. That's a risk we have taken. That is why I appreciated them in the story which I wrote in the newspaper. That is a tremendous job done by the team effort of our Mumbai police. And when you give them a task, they rise to the level and deliver the result. And it is done by all branches, all officers. There were multitude of officers who were doing bits and pieces of jobs. Put together, the story emerges.
सर, आपने बताया कि उनके पास से जो मटेरियल सीज हुआ उसमें मातोश्री का नक्शा भी था, तो क्या वो शिवसेना के सुप्रीमो बाल ठाकरे को भी टारगेट करने का उनका इरादा था?
Perhaps, we could not break the conspiracy theory, because one conspiracy that time was IC-814. And then we asked these people, asked them for all the details, everything. Perhaps one can surmise, I'm using the word surmise, one could come to a thing they would have had. Otherwise, why they would have had a TNT cells, which can pierce a 12 inches tank, steel tank. So that 2 of them they had. Of course, the firing mechanism was not there. But so much of weapons, arms, ammunition, Glock pistols, hand grenades, all these things for what? But what did they were planning here? Of course, the case went to CBI, and the guys have been taken away to CBI and things like that later, because this had a multinational involvement. Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, all that was involved. So the case went away to CBI. So obviously one could only come to a certain conclusion that they had a better, some other conspiracy also. Could be Matoshri, could be anything like that.
सर, आपने जैसे बताया कि इस घटना के पहले जुलाई में इन्होंने क्या किया, किस तरह
July onwards, no? This is all during interrogation, which is learned. They had July, multiple times they came, they went to Kathmandu, multiple times they studied, they stayed here, they arranged for their driving licenses, they arranged for their passports, they arranged for varieties of wherewithal. So the conspiracy planning was done. And they had come multiple times through various means, by bus, by train, by flight, and various means. Multiple names they had taken, they stayed in multiple places. But all things were facilitated by this main Mumbai-based man called Abdul Latif.
सर, क्या ये सच है कि काठमांडू से प्लेन हाईजैक करने के पहले उनकी कॉन्स्पिरेसी ये थी कि मुंबई से किसी प्लेन को हाईजैक किया जाए, लेकिन यहाँ पर
No. Listen, we have not caught those guys who had actually hijacked, that is Maulana's brother, Akhtar and various others, Abdul Rauf and various others, who were there in Kandahar and Peshawar and various places like that. So I will not be able to say that, but I can say, since I worked in the immigration much before 87, 91, the Mumbai airport is not an easy joke to go. The way they show that they go inside and their bags and all that, I mean, there is a certain amount of casualness there in Kathmandu airport, as I have seen or depicted in the movie. So Mumbai airport, there is not a question of anybody hijacking anything then, now, or even in the future. Mumbai is not a lackadaisical, lazy place where anybody can go and hijack a plane. So far, listen to me, so far in the history of India, no such attempt has ever been done in the Mumbai airport. This is a record, and so will be Delhi, so will be Bangalore, so will be Chennai. These are airports buzzing, and people are absolutely alert.
Got it, sir.
Yeah. Catching a flight and hijacking from Mumbai or Delhi or Kolkata or any such place will be absolutely collapse of this system. It cannot happen. Yeah.
सर, लेकिन एक चीज यहाँ पर ये भी निकल कर आती है कि इस घटना को फैसिलिटेट करने के पीछे करप्शन की भी एक बड़ी हद तक भूमिका रही, जिस तरह से कुछ पासपोर्ट ऑफिस के अधिकारियों ने
that is all I fully agree. It's a question of national security in danger because of a petty corruption, all these people, and cases were made out against the passport office people. They were arrested, they went on strike and things like that, and also this Seven Island and one more people, whoever facilitated, whoever was doing the police verification, there is a total corruption is thinking, I must say that. And it's a very big national security threat. But question is, was it done only at the time? Can it not be done anywhere else or any other place or any other point of time? Answer is, anytime it can be done. Corruption today is also as rampant as it used to be. But the answer for your question is yes. It is a major national security challenge. What is that? Is corruption.
Right, sir. Sir, one last question. आप पूरी जिंदगी सर आपने लॉ एनफोर्समेंट के लिए काम किया, आपके पूरे करियर में आपने मीडिया में जो कुछ भी आया या आपके सर्कल्स से जो कुछ भी आपको पता चला, तो सर आपके नजर में ऐसी कौन सी बातें थी जो इस पूरे हाईजैक ड्रामे के दौरान जो आपको लगा कि ऐसा नहीं, ऐसा होना चाहिए था, या कहीं पर कुछ हमारे एंड से गड़बड़ी थी रिस्पांस में?
I'm not going to say anything about the actual incident which happened, that is hijacking in Kathmandu or handling in Delhi headquarters by the government, and then handling in Amritsar or in Lahore or in Kandahar. It is beyond my remit. I must remain within the four squares of my own limited experience, knowledge and all that. I would have commented very happily. For next 2 hours I would have explained or mentioned everything if it had happened in my jurisdiction. One thing is, this is an international conspiracy, and we are in Mumbai, you are in Mumbai, I am in Mumbai. It is not in our remit to get into details of those things. And then there were international agencies involved, the IB and RNAW and Home Minister, Home Secretary, all of them were involved. They were doing it. So it is not fit for me to get into the actual incident. I could only say that time how all these Pakistanis came, stayed here. They were doing training programs, they were doing some coaching classes, and they went there, got into passports, and they brought so much of arms, ammunition, and we recovered it, and then $10,000 and people and all that. That would be a very big lapse in the national security tightening. Even today, can it happen today? Yeah, Mumbai is such a huge place where anybody can come, go, porous border and all that. But then we do get alerts every now and then saying that some international foreign terrorists have come, they can do something during Ganapati or anything. We all go on the alert and do whatever is possible, and everything is averted. I want to answer your question. Is it the first time that this kind of a thing happened, Pakistani's presence? What about 26/11/2008? Or what about 2006, the train Hamza, that guy who blew that 11 compartments with pressure cooker bombs? Or before that? Or various other incidents where Pakistanis were involved. So this is, as I would say, go behind the 1,000-year war where they were inflicting 1,000 cuts on us. But thank God our systems were there that the hijacking didn't take place from our country's airports. But the preparation from June, July, August up to December, these guys were coming and going and they were collecting all these false papers. Our own travel agents were involved. 5,000 rupees is what they would charge for getting a passport without actual identity proof and so many things. But now I would say that so much of tightening has happened, it will be very, very difficult for anyone to try. But it did happen at that time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
कहानी को हमारे साथ शेयर करने के लिए.
Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the Mumbai police on record that they did eliminate the mafia from Mumbai by doing various things. Even in this case, when the task was given, it is a tremendous job they did. I don't want to take a single officer's name because every officer was a cog in the wheel and they were doing their jobs. I can take officer's name to the tune of 100 or 200, but then I didn't purposely take it. But I appreciate this is the best possible police force. I salute them.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.